Hey, what's up, everybody? So here it is, my latest creation. This is the battery box that I built for my kayaks. I wanted something that I could have in either kayak, something that was really simple, portable, and could run all of my devices that I may have now or in the future. And I think this is going to do a pretty good job. Here on the top, we've got a voltmeter built into this 3-amp dual USB plug, so I'll be able to charge my phone or run a GoPro if I really wanted to. I don't think I'm going to be really doing that. It's going to be kind of an emergency type situation because I don't want to be wearing my battery down too bad. But then again, this new battery that's in here is very impressive. So you've got the USB, got two SAE plugs. These are a waterproof plug. It's all completely sealed, so if water does get in there, it's not going to drain down inside. I've got connectors that I'm going to be wiring into my wire harnesses on both my Pro Angler fish finder as well as my Kusa HD fish finder, so I can just, take it, put it in the boat, plug it in, bang. So on the PA, I've installed a couple of interior lights, so I'll be running the lights off of this guy here. So got everything there. It's in a nice waterproof sealed container. As you can see, this is an Amazon Basics version of a Pelican box. I've used a lot of Pelican boxes in my professional career, and I can tell you, Amazon's done a pretty good job with this box. I think it cost like maybe 30 bucks, and it's comparable to a Pelican box. It's got the the pressure release thing and all that, just like a Pelican box does, even though probably none of us will ever use that, but it's there. So nice rubberized handle, so save yourself a few bucks there. Nice heavy duty latches, very similar to the Pelican box. Anyways, so there's that. Here's the lid. This is where my components come out. The one thing that I've yet to do is I have a little switch that I'm going to wire into. This is the back of the USB. I'm going to wire that switch into here so that I can turn the USB on and off, because this little voltmeter will pull power away from the battery. And, if this thing's sitting in the back of my car while I'm on a camping trip or something, I don't want it to pull away a bunch of vital, important volts while doing nothing. It's just a little extra thing. Oh, hey, I got 13 volts, cool. Anyway, so I'm going to put that switch in there. That's going to be a really easy addition. But besides that, I've got this really sweet Dakota lithium battery. If you are looking for a new battery, I would definitely suggest looking into these. They weigh about half as much as a sealed lead acid battery. It doesn't have a voltage fade like a sealed lead battery does. Those of you that use those batteries understand that you can watch it on your fish finder. There's a downgrade in the voltage output of a sealed lead battery. So once it gets around 10 volts or so, your fish finder will just shut off. With these, they hold a solid 12 volt output until they're dead, and then it just dropped off flat. So you're going to get a lot more time on the water with one of these. Like I said, they weigh about half as much, and I have yet to get this thing to go down below maybe 12.5 volts. It charges up to about 13.5, so that tells you something. This thing's got a lot of juice, and I'm running a 7-inch screen on my kayak, so it pulls a decent amount of power. Anyways, enough about the battery. Here's the outputs from the battery. Goes around. I tried to keep it nice and neat, so all the wiring is underneath of the foam. So the battery feeds this fuse block. So you got your positive input from the battery here. You got your negative input from the battery here. You got your negative bus here. You got your positive buses. I only have one fuse, so I put the fuse in for the USB for the display purposes of this video, but each individual plug or accessory that you're running is going to have its own individual fuse in one nice neat place. And when your fuse blows, these little LED indicators will come on to kind of help you identify what the problem is. So also this little box comes with labels, so you can label each individual device. Most of the labels have to do with either boating or cars, so you can kind of get pretty close to you know, what you're talking about here. So for instance, they have a depth sounder, which is what I'm going to put on for my fish finder. They have interior lights, so that's going to go for the lights. For this will be the fish finder, this will be for the lights or whatever else. And then, you know, just use an accessory or some sort of sticker like that to go here. That way when you look in there, if you're like, hey, my USB isn't working, oh, accessory, you know, the light's on, there you go, boom. Pretty foolproof. So yeah, there you have it. All my wiring goes down here. I got plenty of slack so that, you know, it can get pushed around. It's not getting crimped or anything. Get a nice tight seal on the box. And away you go. Probably just dented my table. Good thing my wife is sleeping. But there you have it. Very pleased. It's a little bigger than what I had hoped for. You know, my older box was a little smaller, so I'm going to end up having to put it in the front hatch of my PA rather than or I'm going to have to put it in the front bin rather than behind the bin like I used to. But I don't really use that front bin for much anyway, so it'll work out pretty good. And it fits in the front hatch of my Kusa HD, so I'm happy. It's going to serve both boats very well, and I am very pleased with this. If you're interested in one of these boxes, I don't have a lot of time, but I might be able to throw one together for you. It wasn't super expensive, but also wasn't super cheap. I tried to go with decent quality components. So yeah, that's the battery box. If you want one, let me know. If you don't, that's cool. If you are handy and think you could build one yourself, I could hook you up with a list of the things that I bought. Everything came from Amazon except for the battery and the wire, so, you know, gotta love Amazon. And anyways, alright, so there we have it. This thing doesn't seem to use too much power because it's still reading at 13.4, but eventually it will, so I'm definitely going to add that switch in there. Probably add the switch to like right here somewhere. Anyways, so that's that battery box for the kayak. Once again, everything nice and neat, protected by a fuse, and I'm pretty doggone happy with it. Alright, until next time.